Somebody's walking around out there very close to the tent. Hello? Hello? Get away! Some kind. Ow! I don't know where I'm going. Ow! Mother. Ow! 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 I'm calling up police! Get away from me! Everybody, get in my truck! Oh! Get away from me! No!
Hello my friends, and welcome back to the channel. You're watching Project Dark Knight Horror, and I am your host, the Dark Knight. Today we're going to be focusing on the scariest camping encounters. We're going to take a trip into the deep dark woods, and if you go down to the woods tonight, you're sure in for a big surprise. So make sure you stick around until the very end to find out who the winners are of the last video's secret word. It's that time again. So close the door, shut the curtains, and turn off the lights, and go full screen as you get ready to watch the scariest camping videos caught on camera. Let's begin. Creepy night in the woods. For chapter 1, we're checking the YouTube channel HIKESLAM. HIKESLAM is run and presented by a man called Phil, and he creates content about everything to do with camping. He makes videos about food and snack reviews, camping and hiking equipment. He gives hiking tips and gear information, as well as trail stories, do's and don'ts, and well, anything related with and around the world of camping. HIKESLAM is a one-stop shop for anyone who is thinking about going camping and needs help and advice to get started. Phil is often seen hiking and camping and sleeping under the stars off the trails of the Appalachian. He has extensive knowledge about flora and fauna, which is everything to do with the wildlife and plants that you'll see and might come into contact with while camping. Camping is big business, and every year in the United States alone, $13.6 million goes towards the camping and fish and wildlife industry. And as you can expect, a lot of things can go wrong while camping. For example, people get lost every year by going off trail, or they catch hypothermia because they didn't come prepared, or because of unforeseen bad weather. Also, injuries and illnesses are very common. People can get sick or injured from slipping on wet rocks, drinking contaminated water, fire burns, insect bites, and even animal attacks. So Phil gives some much needed help and advice to anyone going camping, whether you're a beginner or a seasoned pro. The channel HIKESLAM is a fountain of knowledge for anyone going camping, and on the 19th of December 2021, Phil uploaded a video the day before Thanksgiving. He wanted to film an overnight hiking camp on the Appalachian Trail in Virginia. But the hike would prove to be filled with strange occurrences and dangers along the way, and as the sun set and darkness fell across the land, Phil would have to face one of the scariest nights he's ever had all alone while camping. Watch.
Hi, Phil here from HIKESLAM. Today I'm gonna hike into the woods a little bit here in Virginia and do an overnight. It's the day before Thanksgiving. It's supposed to be cold tonight, but I'm looking forward to it. This is gonna be a lot of fun. So the hike's been awesome so far. I mean, I've only been out for about half hour. River behind me, really pretty day. As I was walking up, I saw some trash in the trail and I came across this. So some Bud Light cans, plastic bat, some writing on some of this garbage. Hangman is coming down from the gallows. Song lyrics. Other weird things. Well, hopefully I don't get murdered out here. That would totally ruin my day. Well, let's keep going.
Half an hour into the hike, Phil stops because he notices that someone had left some rubbish all over the ground. And as he got closer, he noticed something else too. So Phil was about to bin the rubbish when he noticed that there was writing on all of the bottles and cans. And as he inspected it closer, the writing seemed to be song lyrics. And so he bins the trash and continues on his way. But things would progressively get weirder and weirder. Phil is now halfway through his hike to the campsite when he makes another strange discovery. And again, as he gets closer, he realizes the writing looks familiar. Watch.
I'm about halfway to the campsite and I just entered the wilderness. Sun is just starting to fall behind the hills. So pretty shortly I'll be at the shelter in the campsite. The weirdness continues. What the hell? And there's a dead duck here. A very long note. And it looks like it was just put here because it's not wet. That duck is fairly recently killed. Alright. Kind of creepy. There's a fire down there.
The second lot of objects were more varied. There was a large rock which someone had drawn a foot on, and there were bits of wood, plastic bags, food packets and cardboard. And all of the objects had the exact same handwriting on. Whoever was responsible for doing this, they had left the handwritten objects like that on display on purpose. They had even left some rocks on top of some paper to stop the objects from blowing away. So it dawned on Phil that whoever was responsible for doing this, they had walked the exact same trail as Phil was on now. Amongst the rubbish, there was something a little darker, and that was a dead duck. And as Phil read more of the ramblings on the objects, he learned that it was done by a man called Richard Donahue, also known as the Wolfman. Near the duck, there was a note that said, "We all got a duck when the shit hits the fan." The writing also mentioned the Johns Hollow shelter, and that was exactly where Phil was headed. Now, one thing to note, Phil didn't read all of the objects at the time because the sun was setting and he needed to get to the campsite, and so he recorded it for later viewing. There was also a long letter that was left. Now, I pored over it and I tried to make out what was written. It mentioned when this person lived in California and he had some kind of custody battle which led to a murder. He named the victim also, and other details that I'm reluctant to talk about in case this video gets restricted. But what I can say is that he gives some details about following a path to the campsite area and goes on to say that he's been there several times before and talks about some items hidden. Then he finishes by saying how he worked as a contractor for a couple of years in the 90s. And lastly, it goes on to say how most assuredly he was a person of interest and a suspect in the investigation, and how uneducated the FBI was. Again, at the time of recording, Phil gave no indication that he had read this or any of the other objects, because as he leaves, he doesn't mention anything about it. Also, whoever wrote these most certainly might still be in the general area, and after mentioning the shelter, I'm sure Phil would have abandoned the hike. But as Phil was leaving, he did see something through the trees, and that was a tent.
Okay, I'm almost at the shelter, which was going to be my camp spot for the night. That scene back there really freaked me out though. The sun's going down. I'm going to get to the shelter, reassess the situation, and see what I think about this whole deal. I'm a little out of breath because I'm trying to put as much distance between me and that sketchy camp spot back there as fast as possible. So, okay, I'm going to press onto the shelter and then reassess. Okay, well that was really weird. So as I was hiking toward the shelter, still considering what I was going to do for the night, these two women were hiking in the opposite direction. They had a little dog with them. They asked if I had seen the guy who was leaving the notes. I said he has a campsite down by the river because I could hear the fire going. I could see where his tarp was set up. He was actually just sitting on a rock down there. They were shocked I was still considering camping. And plus they said that they were kind of freaked out and asked if I would go with them and walk past his campsite so they could get back to their car.
This next picture most certainly proves that Phil didn't read the letter, because the letter referenced the Johns Hollow shelter, which was 6 miles away, and that was exactly where Phil was heading and where he was to spend the night. He even makes a joke in saying, "I hope there isn't any maniacs waiting for me."
There's Johns Hollow shelter in Point 6. That looks like where I'll probably end up for the night. Hopefully there's no maniacs there. Really pretty out here. But that sun is going down quick, so I'm running out of options.
So Phil manages to finally reach the shelter, and luckily for him, it's empty. Now, there are multiple shelters all over the Appalachians, and the role of the shelter is for emergency purposes, if there is any bad weather, or if somebody gets lost and doesn't have a tent. In each shelter there's a log, which is for campers to write down their experiences about their hiking camp, and they can also leave advice and tips for campers to follow. It makes for an interesting read when you're settled in for the night in your tent with a roaring fire going. Also, it gives you a sense of community spirit, reading all the experiences, be it good or bad, from all the campers that came before. So Phil started to set up his tent and get the fire going, and settled in for the night. Sometime before going to bed, Phil decided to read the shelter log, but Phil was in for another surprise, and not the good kind. Watch.
Alright, so I'm gonna check out the shelter log here. I hang out by the fire. Almost every shelter on the Appalachian Trail has a shelter log where people write in their trail names and what's going on. They can write whatever they want in there. So it's kind of cool tradition here. So let's see what this one says. Little engine, back section. Hiking again finally. Great day on the AT. This was in August. Huh. Someone left some PBRs here, I guess. It's nice and little trail magic. Ah, some comics and writing and stuff. Alright, let's see what's happened recently. Holy crap. Wait a second. Hold on, I'm gonna adjust the camera here. This writing looks almost exactly like the writing that was on that garbage a couple of miles from here. Let's see if this makes any sense. Sorry if the lighting's bad. I'm just gonna see what it says. Cleaned the outhouse. Picked up trash. Collected wood for others. See Charlie Daniels' Simple Man lyrics, which I used in 2013 Facebook post. And note the rope I found with the silicone sealant can 2 miles south of that. I left it on a stump. In 2018, while I was incarcerated at the Okaloosa County Jail. What the heck? In solitary confinement, I figured the following out. Refer to Isaiah 28:15 through 9. Here in early 2017, Trump, Nebo, allowed Obama to have the special use of the Air Force One for a trip to Palm Springs. This is the same ramblings from the guy that was on the other side of the river. That's kind of scary. Kind of weird. Those women down there said they were going to call the police on the guy. I know it's really hard to read in this light. Sorry about that. Let me move that there. Wow, this is weird. It's just like it goes in one direction, then immediately goes in a completely different direction. And there's just so much of it. Like this line up here. Think grave robbery in an attempt to obscure the reality of Little Mrs. Wolf. Content. Come up with some more of those wicked schemes, JB and company, so I can show some more of your true character. In the past, the Russian collusion assertion have been followed up on many occasions with the advancement of illusions that would show discord in fiction between the colluding parties. You're falling faster. Obey your master. The Metallica lyrics. What the heck? Okay, that's crazy.
So as he flicks through the shelter log, he sees notes and drawings from the previous campers. So he flicks towards the end to see what was recently written, and that's when he sees the same handwriting that he saw earlier back on the trail, scribbled on all the water bottles, packets and cans. This time he reads it a bit more. It reads how in 2018 the man was in prison at the Okaloosa County Jail in solitary confinement, and it refers to some scriptures from the Bible. And as soon as Phil read about the prison, things got more serious. Now Phil started to get worried. He was in a shelter that was in the middle of the Appalachians, miles from anyone or any help, and because it was nighttime, he had no choice but to stay until first light. And what's more, the fire that was going was a beacon to anyone that was in the forest. The fire could be seen from all around, but Phil couldn't see past 100 meters through the tree line. He was now in a bad situation, and he knew it. And as the night wore on, Phil knew he wouldn't get a good night's rest, and so he doused the fire and went to bed.
Dude, what the hell is going on here? I'm in the shelter. I'm packing up my stuff to go into my tent, and they have these things that they put in shelters a lot to hang your food bag from, so like mice can't get to it. Look at this one. What do you know? Same handwriting as the one in the book, and that garbage on the trail from that same dude. So it says, watch out for yeet mouse. The dead do walk and talk. Like, what the hell is going on? Alright, I'm going to go into my tent now. So I'm in my tent now. Fire's been put out. All my gear's in here. I'm a little on edge. I keep watching the hill behind the shelter to see if I see a headlamp coming down there. The hike in here, there was nobody. There's no cars along the side of that Forest Service road except mine. It was super quiet here. I haven't heard any sign of a person at all. I hear animals up in the woods, but yeah, I don't know. I still have my shoes on. I guess in case I have to run. And also in the woods, your mind plays games with you. Every sound, every light is something to be concerned about. Alright, so I lied down for a couple hours, nodded off to sleep, just on top of my sleeping bag. But man, every crack and crunch I hear outside of an animal walking by, or a branch breaking, I don't know, it's just like, it's freaking me out. I was down in my tent, not asleep, kind of just like lying there staring at the tent walls, listening to all the sounds, and then I heard somebody down by the shelter. But it definitely was somebody down there. So I packed up all my stuff, and I packed it up very quickly. I don't think I left anything behind, and I just walked past. As I walked past, I did look. It did look like a single guy hanging out in the shelter. He had a headlamp on.
And then Bill heard someone in the shelter. So he decided to pack up as fast as he could, and he got back onto the trail to leave. But just as he did, he looked back towards the shelter, and he saw one single figure smoking by himself. He couldn't make out the man's face because the man was wearing a headlamp, and what's more, it was facing towards Phil. So Phil left and finally got back to his truck, safe and sound. Let this be a lesson to anyone thinking about going camping. Always take a friend, and if you can't, then make sure you carry a weapon for self-defense, or at the very least, carry a can of mace. Phil was lucky, but things could have ended very, very different. This was just one of many of Phil's camping adventures, so if this is your cup of tea, then why not jump on over and check out all his other videos? The name is on screen. And when you get there, drop Phil a comment or two. But don't forget to tell him the Dark Knight sent you. Thank you. If you go down to the woods tonight, for our next chapter, we're checking out the YouTube channel Grizzly Gaz. Now, if you're a camper and you enjoy the great outdoors, then Grizzly Gaz is the channel for you. The channel features one man called Gaz and his best friend Fendi the dog as they travel the English countryside, woods and forests. And he also makes content about camping equipment, forest trail cameras, kayaking, hacks and tips, creepy camping stories, and walks and hikes. And his dog Fendi is there every step of the way. And on the 27th of July 2023, he too had a creepy encounter in the woods. This would go on to be one of his most terrifying nights camping. And the location that he was staying at during the video, he's used many times before. But he's never been scared like this. And I don't think he'll ever forget about this night. Whatever Gaz came into contact with that night in the middle of the woods, it came very, very close to his tent. Whether it was an animal, human, an evil entity, or some kind of forest spirit, it made terrifying sounds. And whatever it was, it could be heard moving all around his tent all night. On the whole, Grizzly Gaz is all about one man and his dog documenting his adventures throughout the UK. It's normally a feel-good channel without anything scary, but this night would prove to be a lot different, and it would go on to be his most viewed video. So as the darkness creeps up, Gaz gets comfortable for the night. He's in the process of chopping firewood when suddenly, from not that far away, he starts hearing loud noises. Watch.
I'm not going to have a massive fire tonight because I just want to cook my food. What the fuck was that? What the fuck's that noise? What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? Holy fuck. What the fuck?
In this type of scenario, you can't help it, but the mind starts to wonder. You start to imagine what could be out there watching you, in the dark, man or beast, or something worse. Gaz wakes up in the middle of the night to sounds all around him. You know, I always talk about that feeling you get when you know something's not right. Our bodies come with this natural built-in way of detecting danger. We know if we should fight or flight. Part of it is common sense, but the other part is our senses. Like when someone walks and stands up close behind you, you don't know how, but you can sense them there. Or when you know that the phone is about to ring. And right now, every sense, every feeling, every part of Gaz is screaming out that something is out there. And then Gaz starts to hear growling, and even though it could be a wild boar or someone's dog, it still seemed and felt dangerous. Sometime later, when the noises stop, Gaz gets out and floods the forest with his light, but whatever was there before seems to have left. And even if it was a person, in some ways that's worse, because people are scarier than any ghosts or spirits because of their malicious intent to hurt one another. Imagine some nutter in the middle of the woods poking Gaz's tent with a stick. I don't know what's worse, which is why I don't go camping. Call me boring, but being alone in the middle of the woods, miles from home and in harm's way, is not my cup of tea. So what about you? Have you ever been camping? And if you have you seen or heard anything like what's happened to Gaz? Let me know your experiences down below in the comment section, and I'll get back to you. Or if you have any videos, you can send it through my email. Gaz was kind enough to let me feature his content, and he's got a lot more videos on his channel. So if you enjoy the great outdoors, and if you're a camper, whether you're a beginner or a seasoned pro like Gaz, you should really check out his channel. The name is on screen. I told Gaz that I'd send over some of my dark nights to check out his channel, so do me a favour. When you check out the channel Grizzly Gaz, drop him a comment or two and show him the power of the dark nights. But don't forget to tell him the Dark Knight sent you. thank you. Stalked in the woods. For our next creepy camping caper, we're checking out a video from the channel called The Northwest Wind, which is owned and presented by a man called Sam, who is an avid stealth camper, an all-round outdoorsman, and angler. Sam creates content about his love for fishing, and he uploads videos about fishing adventures, catching and releasing all manner of fish from rivers and streams. He also makes how-to videos on subjects like maintaining boats, how to start fly fishing, what rods to use, and from last year, he started stealth camping. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, Dark Knight, what is stealth camping, right? Well, let me tell you. Stealth camping is the practice of parking a camper van or a motorhome or a tent in a place without paying for parking or accommodation, such as on a residential street, or in the countryside, or in a car park. It's also known as boondocking, free camping, or wild camping. The goal of stealth camping is to sleep in or near a vehicle overnight without getting caught or breaking any laws. It's a great way to save money on accommodation, and it's easy to explore the wilderness at the same time. But just like anything in life, there's good things and bad things, and it's the bad things about stealth camping that we're going to take a look at. So on the 25th of January this year, Sam uploaded his 18th stealth camping video, and his plan for the video was to stealth camp at a car park near some woods and hopefully cook his signature dish of sausages and peppers. So for this video, he parked his van in the car park, threw on his backpack with his tent and all his essentials, and he headed off into the woods. And it was gonna be a cold night. Sam was in an upbeat mood, and as the sun set and the forest started to get dark, Sam made his merry way into the wilderness, looking forward to a great night's sleep, relaxing in his tent with some delicious food. There was no indication that Sam's plan of stealth camping would turn into one of the scariest nights alone out in the woods. So Sam walks into the woods for 15 to 20 minutes and finally finds a spot that he likes. But then he sees an old torn up tent on the forest floor and mentions that it could have been used by some kids smoking weed, or it could have been the remnants of something a lot darker. Either way, it sketches him out, and Sam says he doesn't like the vibe it gives off. Remember, Sam is 15 to 20 minutes away from his van, alone in the middle of the woods. But against his better judgment, Sam decides to set up his tent, a decision that he'll soon come to regret later. Throughout the entire setup of his camp, Sam keeps looking all around the woods. It's plain to see that he's not comfortable, and for some reason, probably because of the old torn up tent, he's very paranoid. Watch.
And a tarp. That means somebody's camped back here before. Now, it could have just been some young punks smoking dope. Or it could have been like an Asian Tony type character. Maybe Asian Tony himself. That kind of sketches me out. I don't like the vibe I got seeing that. That gives me a weird vibe. Super weird vibe. Sorry. I don't know what it is here, but I keep feeling like somebody's watching me, and it's like very, very strong feeling, like hair on the back of my neck standing up. I don't know. I just keep feeling like I'm being watched or something, though. I don't know. There are people around for sure. It's a very public park area, but I'm off the main trails by a ways. It's also very dead back here and foggy too. I don't know if the camera picks up the fog, but there's fog rolling in like everywhere. It's just kind of creepy, I guess.
So with his belly full and his tent set up, as the darkness sets all around him, Sam gets into his one-man tent and he gets comfortable for the night. But there'll be no sleep in store for Sam tonight, because in the early hours of twilight, Sam starts to hear footsteps, and what's more, it's pitch black outside, and whoever the footsteps belong to, they're heading towards Sam's tent. Watch.
There's somebody, hang on. I don't know if they could see it or not through the tent. I don't think so. I'm leaning right up against the light, but somebody's walking around out there very close to the tent. Somebody's out there. I don't know if they're coming this way or just walking around out there. I can't tell. Somebody's definitely walking around out there, though. Hang on. I don't want to leave the light on in case they could see in here. I think the fly is thick enough that they can't see the light, but still, I'm leaning right up against the lantern, so you can only just barely see my face. I don't know if you could see with my phone. I don't know if you could see me better with my phone or not. Somebody's walking around out there. They're getting closer, too. They're getting closer. Hang on. Hang on. I want you to be able to see as much as possible, but I'm not going to turn on the lantern again. I have my headlamp in my pocket, too. They're really close now. They're like... Listen. I don't like this at all. I'm spooked. Hello? 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 I think there's two of them. They're coming closer to the tent. They have to know that I'm in here. I'm gonna try and just be silent. Hang on. They're walking around outside in circles. Hello? Hello? Alright, I don't like this. Hello? Hello? They're touching my tent. Stop. They're right outside the tent. Hello? I'm in here. Hello? 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 Alright, I'm getting the f out of here. Hello? Hello? I don't know what the f this is, but we're getting out of here. Hang on. Hello? Okay, they're walking away now. What do you want? What do you want? I have a knife. Where's my knife? They're f***ing with me. They're f***ing with me here. Holy crap. Get away. What do you want? Hello? I can't see you. Hello? All right, I'm getting out of here. We're getting the hell out of here. Hello? What do you want? Say something. I see you. They collapsed my tent on me. I don't know which way they went. I think they went this way. I see you. Get away! They're just standing there. They're just standing there. What do you want? Leave me alone! They went over that way. I can't see them now. I know you're there. I see you. They collapsed my tent on me and pulled the fly off while I was still in there. It smells like someone's smoking a cigarette too. I smell your cigarette. I smell your cigarette. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. I have a knife. I smell your cigarette. All right, I'm officially like tweaking now. I'm like, all right, we're just gonna get out of here. We're just gonna get out of here. I'll come back for this crap later. Do I have my phone? I'm gonna call 911 if you come near me. Should I just call the police now or do I just go? I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I'm scared to go in any direction. I don't know where to go. Is the camera on? The camera's on. I'm recording all of this. All right, they're moving again. I don't know. I'm getting out of here. We're going. I'll come back for this some other time. All right, get the hell out of here. I'm leaving. Don't follow me. I don't know where to go. I don't know which way to get out of here. I hear you. Hang on, let me see if they're... Stay away from me! They're coming behind me. I don't know what they're doing. They're at my campsite. I see them. I see you reflecting off my tent. Leave my shit alone! All right, I'm getting out of here. You can have it. Oh. Some kind. I just ate. I just ate. I'm soaked. I'm toast. Okay. Oh, they're coming. Leave me alone. Okay. Okay. I don't know where I'm going. Ow! Mother. Alright. Ow! 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 I just ate. Ow! I'm in prickers. Okay. Ow! Both. Ow! Ow! What the fuck? Okay. I don't see or hear anybody. Alright, this is a clearing here. I just tripped over that. Ow! Oh, my knee. My poor knee. All right, here's a clearing. This has got to lead back to the main trail. I don't know where they are. It's all foggy up here. I got water in my headlamp. I don't know where to go. I hear them coming. Can't see the shadow. Here's a path. Okay, get me there. I'm recording all of this. I'm calling up police. All right, I'm back on the path. Back on the path. Okay. Okay. Get away from me! All right, we're back on the path. Okay. 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 Ow! 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 Oh, I'm soaked. I'm soaked. Oh God. It's the fourth time. I swear, if I had a firearm, I probably would have used it by now. Oh my God, my nerves are shot. Adrenaline. Oh my God. My headlamp's got water in it. My phone is soaked. I'm scared. Not anymore. I'm still scared, but I was far back there. About 5 minutes from the car now, but I'm in the big clearing off the path. I have the high ground, so to speak. I can see everything from behind me. I don't see anybody anymore. Can't hear anybody. Is it still recording? Is it still recording? Right at the edge of the wood line. It's about 150 yards away. Hang on. You see that? I see you! I can see you! Oh, it's getting bigger. It's getting bigger. All right, let's get the out of here. I don't know if they're like after me or something, or what the happening. We're getting the here. It's getting bigger. They're coming this way. Holy I don't like this. I'm calling the police. There's another car here. Okay. This is okay. All right, we're getting out of here. All right, lock my doors. What the fuck? What the fuck? I'm soaked. Where's my...
In the darkness, all you can hear are the sounds of footsteps, crunching all around and coming nearer and nearer towards Sam's tent, until Sam calls out hello twice to let them know he's inside. But the silent stalkers don't answer, and they start to touch the tent, probably looking for a zipper to look in to assess if Sam's a threat or not. Whoever is outside his tent, it's now stupid o'clock, so they're not out for a leisurely stroll. Also, if they needed help or if they were innocently curious, they would have answered, meaning that they were probably looking to rob Sam of his belongings. Also, they probably saw Sam's lone van parked in the car park, which led them to look for Sam in the woods. Sam finally leaves the tent. As the two silent figures stand on the trail watching Sam, Sam shouts out, "What do you want?" But no matter what he shouts out, the two silent stalkers don't reply. So Sam decides to ditch the tent, and he makes his way back to his van, which is now 15 to 20 minutes, a mile and a half away. And as he walks back, the two figures start to follow him. At any time, they could attack Sam, but then he sees the two figures rooting through his campsite, which gives him an ample opportunity for a head start. Finally, Sam makes it back to his van, but in the process he made a host of bad mistakes. Firstly, when he heard the footsteps coming towards him, he should have got out of his tent and flooded the area with light, instead of remaining quiet. Secondly, he didn't even bring a decent flashlight with him in the first place, just a headlamp. If he had brought a decent flashlight, he would have been able to see his attackers, not to mention the logs and branches that he fell over all those times. He also started shouting out many statements that made him a victim. Things like, "I can't see you," or "I'm spooked." Also, he was far from his van, which would have been okay if he had brought a better weapon. So something like this happened to Sam before when he got chased off a golf course. So if you want to check out that video and many more, you know what to do. The name is on screen. When you jump over to his channel, The Northwest Wind, drop Sam a comment or two. But don't forget to tell him the Dark Knight sent you. Thank you. Danger from the dark. Our next video is a short one, just 2 minutes and 44 seconds long, and it was recorded by a group of friends partying in the woods. The video was uploaded by The Facts by howtohunt.com on the 10th of January 2022. The channel howtohunt.com is dedicated to sharing knowledge about the great outdoors and to encourage people to adventure and explore nature. The channel covers topics like Bigfoot sightings and other cryptids, how to survive in the wilderness by hunting and building shelters and connecting with nature. In a world where everything is run by technology, the channel howtohunt.com is all about leaving the rat race behind and getting back into a lifestyle that we've all forgotten, hunting and foraging and living off the land. The channel isn't for everyone, and at times it can be quite controversial because they show videos about hunting animals like deer and elk, bears and mountain lions, during hunting season of course, but they also upload videos about Bigfoot sightings and other cryptids throughout the world's forests and woodlands. The channel The Facts by howtohunt.com is a one-stop shop for anyone interested in hunting and living off the land, and everything in between in the great outdoors. But the video in question that we're going to take a look at was sent in by one of their viewers. So the background information goes like this. A group of lads are partying in the woods because it's one of the group's birthday. And so they decide to camp out under the stars with a few drinks while cooking some food on the fire. You know when it's hot and you have a few drinks and you don't really need a tent, especially if you're in a group and there's a fire going. Well, they'd been at the spot for a few hours now and everything was going fine, when suddenly they started hearing loud banging. At first the banging was far away, so it didn't really trouble the group of friends. But then, as the minutes wore on, the banging got closer and closer and louder, and that's when one of the group started recording. Watch.
Hear it? Get Trevor. Austin, get the light. Fuck. Hey! That was not an elk. Where's that coming from? Get my keys. Oh, get ready. Everybody, get in my truck. You hear it? Hear it? Where's that coming from? Where's that coming from? Where's that coming from? Get my keys. Get my keys. Get my keys. Fuck no. Fuck no.
So there's a massive Bigfoot following online, and there's thousands of videos and posts all dedicated to the legend of the Sasquatch. The topic of the Bigfoot, whether it's real or not, has always been divided. Thousands of people every year swear they've had encounters with a humanoid figure that resembles an ape-like man, monstrous in stature, and accounts describing them as tall as 10 foot. When you check online, there are thousands upon thousands of photos and videos about Bigfoot sightings. People discover large footprints in the forests and woodlands throughout America and other parts of Europe. Another phenomenon is the audio that's been recorded by thousands of people every year, and it seems the videos and photos and posts and audio are multiplying. People have recorded strange sounds in the forests and woodlands throughout America, loud growls and screams not registered to any known animals. Scientists have done tests on these so-called Bigfoot audio, and they've discovered that the range of vocal cords used in these recordings are not edited, and they are natural in sound, but the vocal range doesn't fall in between what we know as animal or human. In fact, in a previous video I uploaded about creepy forest encounters, a group of scientists recorded two so-called Bigfoot communicating with each other, and by the vocal cords and sound, the scientists estimated that these beings to be over 10 foot tall and not human or any animal in the US Fish and Wildlife Index. In other words, they couldn't positively say what animal was making the sounds. Another very popular phenomenon is loud banging. Just like in the video, in fact, if you Google loud bangs in the forest, you'll be faced with thousands of accounts of people hearing, filming, and recording these loud bangings and popping sounds. In my humble opinion, there's so much we still don't know or understand about parts of the world that are normally not explored. Like our oceans and seas, for one example. Apparently, according to the research team at Sky, about 5% of the world's oceans have been explored, and less than 10% of it is being mapped using modern sonar technology. And as of 2023, 24.9% of the global seafloor had been mapped too, and there's still so much left to explore. So who knows what is waiting in the depths of the sea, in places like the Mariana Trench for example. Also, there are forests in the Appalachians that have never been explored by humans, just like in some of our forests and woodlands in the US and Europe. And with so much underground cave systems that exist, who knows what creatures and beasts alike dwell as above, so down below. If you've seen something scary, creepy, or amazing, and you captured something paranormal on camera, or you might be unlucky enough to live in a haunted house and you need some help and advice and you think you're all alone. Well, you're not. Project Dark Knight Horror is here for you. So send in your videos, links, emails and recommendations to Project Dark Knight. The email is on screen. Thank you. The man on the stairs. For our next creepy camping video, we're checking out the YouTube channel The Flex Tapes, which is owned and run by a man called Bren Richardson, who also goes by the name of Flex. Bren creates videos about the paranormal, like exploring haunted houses, ghost hunting, as well as urban exploring. He also makes camping videos, but with a difference. Flex will find some of the creepiest places in the UK to camp in, and most of his videos always end badly. For example, getting chased out of a so-called abandoned farmhouse by angry farmers, or getting so spooked in a haunted location and running out fearing for his life. In fact, Flex has made over 300 videos on his channel ever since he started back in 2010. He's worked really hard and visited all manner of buildings and locations, countrysides and cities, forests and woodlands. And his adventures have all been documented here on his channel. Flex certainly deserves a lot more subscribers than he currently has. So let's see if we can help him out. So in the video that we're going to be watching, Flex decides to sleep in a deserted farmhouse on his own, which turns out to be a really bad decision. And in the early hours of twilight, he would be woken up to loud, heavy footsteps. So a few hours earlier, and we see Flex walking up a country path towards the abandoned farmhouse that used to be owned by a poet. The location is a few miles away from Flex's home, and that's the reason why he's decided to do a solo stealth camp. Flex has been to this location before, but the video ended abruptly because he had to leave after being chased by angry farmers. And so, a few months later, he decides to return to complete the video in the abandoned farmhouse. But like I said before, this time he's decided to do it on his own. The house is literally in the middle of nowhere, with fields on all four sides of the house. From the outside, the location looks very old and decrepit, with parts of the building missing due to the ravages of time and good old-fashioned bad English weather. The building might look abandoned, but it still belongs to someone, as Flex found out last time after he and his mates literally got chased out of the building by a group of farmers. But this time, and I don't know what possessed him to, but to return and stay overnight on his own. So he has a look around the building and talks about the history and the location. And so, with the rain falling and the wind blowing outside, Flex finds an old metal bed with a spring mattress and starts making his bed for the night. Watch.
Yeah, it's probably be gone. But there's the bed, and you can see how horrible that mattress is, and you can probably guess that how long ago that was slept in. It's not nice. It is not nice. But I mean, what's that? Weird. I mean, the mattress isn't even the right size for the bed. For a start off, an old paraffin. I think that's a paraffin heater box. So I'm going to get this bad boy out of this big sleeping bag. It's heavy, but that's literally what I've got. This is literally my setup. It's completely unplanned, but yeah, I wanted to do it. So probably if I ever do this next time, or if I do it again or whatever, I'll probably bring more stuff. Oh man, this is mental. I haven't heard anything, so I think I'm far enough away from. I should be fine. Shouldn't be that much noise, but it's going to be quiet for a second. Yeah, it's the wind. So I don't know if you can hear that. It is really windy outside. Thankfully I've got the only room with a working window. What's that noise? I think paranoia. When I get quiet, I go quiet. Like you start to hear things, and I think it's like the paranoia, like the wonder of being on my own, and like every little noise is like, damn, what's that? Like what is that? Like, you know what I mean? So that's what I was saying before. I need to keep talking. I need to keep busy. I need to keep occupied. So let's get on with it. Right. I don't really like taking my shoes off. I'm only doing that for the purpose of the sleeping bag. The house doesn't deserve it. Oh my god. Wow. That is an old metal bed. Look at that. Oh, there's a sticker there, look. Nice. Ugh. Honestly, the things that I do. It's awful, look at it. Would you sleep in this bed, in this house? Yes or no, hit the comments. Right, let's get in. Oh, oh my god. It is awful. Oh. Right, so I'm going to get in here. I've got my night vision camera there, which I'm going to set up.
So he has a look around the building and talks about the history and the location. And so, with the rain falling and the wind blowing outside, Flex finds an old metal bed with a spring mattress and starts making his bed for the night by putting a sleeping bag on top of the old bed frame, and gets in and falls asleep. Watch.
fine. As I couldn't see, I was hiding down, I slid down there as much as I could. As quiet as I can. Still there, I've been seen, so I'm just going to go for it. Well, right, let's go. Oh, it's so dark now. Join you in the car, I think.
In some of these camping videos, the people who are filming put themselves in really dangerous situations, as we've already seen in the previous videos. But what Flex does, in my opinion, is very reckless. Last time he got chased away by 3 farmers, and he and his mate Dan just got away and probably escaped a beating. Because who knows, this farm probably belonged to one of the relatives, and to come back again was really asking for trouble. But to be on your Jack Jones with no one to have your back, that was a very silly thing to do. Luckily, Flex makes it out of the house and back to safety, and he doesn't run into any angry farmers along the way. But it could have ended very badly. For me, what makes this video more scary is because I remember about 10 years ago, there was a murder case in the news about a young man who was caught in a farmer's house, and he was shot by the farmer for trespassing. The trial lasted for months, and in the end I think the farmer did some time. But before that, it was unheard of, at least for me, for farmers in the UK to shoot people. After that, suddenly a lot more cases started to be unearthed, and that's always stuck in my head. So every time I see one of these videos, especially if it's in a farmhouse in the UK, it always seems more scary. So Flex left the farmhouse behind and made his way home, safe and sound. So, if you want to watch the full video, as well as the time Flex and his mate got chased by angry farmers, then jump on over to his channel. The name is on screen. When you get there, drop Flex a comment or two. But don't forget to tell him the Dark Knight sent you. Thank you. The Weeping Woman. So for our next video, we're back with Grizzly Gaz on another of his overnight solo camping videos in the forest. And this one is really creepy. So as usual, the video starts with Gaz trekking towards his campsite with his trusty dog Fendi. Also, the woods that he's staying in for the video is said to be haunted by the spirit of a young woman. Apparently in the 1800s she took her own life due to her husband passing away from an illness. So racked with grief was she that she took her own life, but it is said that she didn't pass on, because ever since then, many eyewitnesses have reported seeing a woman in a long white flowing dress that sticks out like a sore thumb. Also, the woods at night is known for her screams and cries, and on many occasions, when people are walking their dogs or just passing through, they hear the sound of a woman crying. One witness said when he got towards where the crying was coming from, the sound stopped and moved to another location, and so he carried on following the cries. But no matter what he did, he couldn't find the woman, and then, just as suddenly as it started, it stopped just as quick. Whether the story of the woman who took her own life was true or not, I don't know. But what I can tell you is that Gaz has a really creepy night in store, and he too experiences someone or something crying very close to his tent. In fact, the activity is so scary that Gaz decides to abandon his camping and packs up and leaves the woods early. Watch.
Look at that beauty. Gorgeous, isn't it? Anyway, got shelter set up. Nice camo tarp from One Wind. It's all One Wind actually, all this set up. I need to get some food on go now because I'm starving. I have to drink this, look. I have to leave it another 3 hours, aren't I? Well, I've drank my chicken tikka soup. I've also had a bit of a tipple as well. Fire's almost out. Hello?
So in the full video, Gaz sets up his camp and he reviews a knife and some camping gear, and he eats his dinner, and that's where the video should have ended. But later, Gaz starts hearing this weird humming sound, and what's more is that the sound is very close, but then the sound starts to break up, and that's when it becomes apparent that Gaz is listening to someone crying. At a few times in the video, the crying sounds like it's coming from meters away, very close and very creepy. Listen.
Hello? What the fuck was that? Even our friends will heard that. Got myself a bit of light. Hello? Nope. 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 Hello? 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 Nah, I'm off, mate. I'm off.
He gets out of his hammock to go and check the area where he heard the crying, and as he looks down at his dog Fendi, she is frozen still with fear because she can hear the sounds too. He has a little walk about and uses a better flashlight, but the noises stop and he doesn't see anyone, and so he goes back to his hammock. But the moment he lays back down into his hammock, the crying starts again, but this time in the opposite direction. Suddenly the sounds get louder, and Gaz knows that he won't be able to sleep here tonight. Normally it takes Gaz a good while to pack up his camp, but this time he packed it up in minutes and started to walk out of the forest. The whole time the crying continued.
Come on, mate. Come on, mate, stop messing about. Come here. Come here. I can still hear it. Absolutely bobbed me pants then.
And then, as he climbed over the railing into the car park, he turned around and looked one last time into the darkness, because he could still hear the sounds, and that's when he saw this. Something could be seen looking back at Gaz. Two glowing eyes could be seen in the light of his torch shining back at him. Well, that was enough for Gaz and for Fendi, and they both called it a night. If you want to check out the complete video, then jump on over to his channel. The name is on screen. And when you get there, drop Gaz and Fendi a comment or two, but as usual, don't forget to tell him the Dark Knight sent you. Thank you. Psycho in the woods. For our last chapter today, we're checking out the YouTube channel Swamp Valley. Swamp Valley is a bushcraft channel that creates videos about making things in the woods to survive by hunting and living off the land. And just like all the other channels we've seen today, they also review camping gear like tents and sleeping bags and knives. He also takes part in survival challenges. He also makes how-to videos like how to chop wood and make and start the perfect fire for cooking. And he also shows how to make weapons out of materials found in the wilderness, like spears and bow and arrows and traps. So if you're into making weapons and building and hunting and surviving out in the wild, Swamp Valley is the channel for you. The channel is owned and run by a hunter and all-round bushcraft expert, Sky. The video that we're going to be checking out today, Sky starts off by hiking a few miles into the woods to join up with his mates and fellow hunters. But right from the start, something is very wrong, and Sky doesn't realize it at first. Watch.
Alright, so I'm in Lanfine Estate and heading up to go meet Colin and Sam. They've already got to the camp and just gonna go have a little fire, chill out, should be good. Stay tuned. Beautiful up here.
Did you see him? So the video starts with Sky walking into the woods to meet up with two of his friends. But what Sky didn't know was that he was being watched.
Up here. We're getting there. Hell of a walk up here. It's uphill for about 2 miles, but worth it though. Right, I don't want to sound like a big pansy. This is really freaking me out. Somebody is actually following me, and it's freaky, man. What the? Like, who the hell is that? I'm not messing about with that guy. Right, I'm gonna walk faster. Get up to my pals. It's freaky, man. It's freaky.
So eventually, as Sky is talking into the camera, he notices the man following him. Now, the man could have been an activist who doesn't like people loitering in the woods. Basically, a male Karen. Or he could have been a landowner, or just some nutter, like a psycho in the woods, as the title describes. Anyway, Sky keeps on going, but picks up the pace a little bit. But even stranger, so too does the man following him. Watch.
Just get beyond the joke. I'm trying to think of what to say. I'm like, is that a prank? Like, this is the woods that I'm ducking into. Do I just bloody call this? Where'd he go? I'm gonna hide.
Did you notice the man was carrying something in his hands? And then suddenly he disappears, and Sky is left scratching his head, wondering where the man went. So Sky decides to hide in the spot and lay in wait to see if the man keeps on following. And sure enough, he does. Watch.
Where'd he go? I'm gonna hide. Alright, let's see how good he is in the woods. Like the hunted become the hunter. He's heading up to where Colin and Sam are. Fucking shaking, man. I need to hear him. I'm gonna follow him. See where he goes. I need to try and phone Colin. Tell him. At least this way, if he does come, I can leg it back to the road. This is the scariest thing I've ever done. I actually found a psycho. Colin's not answering his bloody phone, and they're only about 400 metres up this pathway, so I can't just leave him. At some point I'm going to have to confront him, I think. Just Just asking what the hell he's playing at. Not too worried about him, but at the same time I kinda am. Is he a real psycho? What the hell is he? But anyway. Lost track of him, but I can see, I don't know if you can see, that's the fire, that's Colin, but where the fuck did he go? Honestly, I was about 50 metres behind him. I don't know where he's fucking gone.
So for the next few minutes, the hunter becomes the hunted, as Sky follows the man. It starts to dawn on Sky that the strange man is walking in the direction of his mates, who are camping in the woods. So Sky tries to call his mates up ahead to warn them about the man, but his mate doesn't answer the phone. And then Sky loses the man again. Now he's very apprehensive, and he's looking around the woods in every direction looking for the man. Eventually, Sky can see his mate's campfire in the distance, but he can't get hold of his mate, and so he sits down behind a fallen tree and tries to message and call his mate Colin. And that's when something scary happens, and we finally find out what the man is carrying. Watch.
He's heading up to where Colin and Sam are. Fucking shaking, man. Yeah, I'm gonna follow him. Let's see where he goes. I'm gonna try and phone Colin. Tell him gone. At least this way, if he does come, I can leg it back to the blooming road. This is the scariest thing I've ever done. I actually found a psycho. Colin's not answering his bloody phone. And they're only about 400 metres up this pathway, so I can't just leave him. Point I'm gonna have to confront him, I think. Just ask him what the hell he's playing at. Not too worried about him, but at the same time I kinda am. Is he a real psycho? What the hell is he? But anyway. Lost track of him, but I can see, I don't know if you can see, that's the fire, that's Colin, but where the fuck did he go? Honestly, I was about 50 metres behind him. I don't know where he's fucking gone. Oh fucking hell, I need to be quiet. And fucking hell, I don't know where he is. I give Colin a phone. Just tell him so he doesn't get fucking done in. Fucking hell. Where the hell is he? Oh fucking hell! Jesus fucking hell! Oh, fucking hell! The fuck? Fucking Jesus fucking! I get fucking burned. Fucking river. Fucking river. Oh fuck, it stinks. Fuck. Oh fucking hell. Fucking. Get the fuck away from me. Get the fuck away from me. Ah, fucking hell.
Suddenly, as Sky is sitting down hiding, trying to reach his mate to warn him about the weirdo, out of nowhere the man appears and lunges at Sky. The next few seconds, Sky gets chased by the psycho through the woods, and when he turns around, we see that the man has lit a makeshift torch and is running after Sky with it, which is very scary. And so he tries his best to escape. So by now, Sky can smell the fumes of the liquid that was thrown off him. The running and the adrenaline, as well as the fumes, start to make him dry heave. But he doesn't manage to get a reprieve, because immediately the man appears, again, torch in hand. Now, I don't know if this is real. The man could be an actual psycho trying to do him harm, or he could just be trying to scare off people from his land. Either way, it was really creepy. And then Sky falls on some loose rocks. And then the man starts hitting Sky with a stick. The man gets in about 6 or 7 good whacks, and it seems he must have hit Sky on the head, because Sky stops moving, probably from passing out. So what do you think? Do you think that was real, or just a prank? A real psycho, or acting? You tell me down below in the comment section. The name is on screen, and while you're there, do me a favor. Don't forget to tell him the Dark Knight sent you. Thank you. Hello my friends, and thank you for watching till the very end. I hid a secret word somewhere in the video. Your mission was to find the word along with the timestamp and drop it down below in the comment section. And the first 3 people to comment the right information will get a shout out at the end of the next video. The last video's secret word was Trinity. Well done to the first 3 people to comment the right information. Their names are KingBuck360, _Chris, and Megangor2852. Well done, and thank you for finding the word. Thank you for watching, and good luck for the next video. Now, stay tuned to find out how you can get more involved with Project Dark Knight behind the scenes. If you've made it to the end, then I salute you. You prove that you're a true fan of horror. So remember, if you're interested in ghosts, poltergeists and demons, cursed objects, haunted houses and randonautica, animal attacks, serial killers and strange dark mysteries, then Project Dark Knight Horror is the channel for you. If you like what you see and you think I deserve it, then can I kindly ask you to press the subscribe button for me? It's absolutely free for you, and just with the click of your finger, you can help my channel grow. And the bigger the channel, the more videos I can make for you. This year my goal is to hit 500,000 subscribers, so I really could use some help. Before you go, I have 3 more quick things to talk about. First off, if you're a fan of horror, why not join Project Dark Knight on my private Facebook group? There, you'll be in great company. We have lots of different people from lots of different backgrounds, from lots of different countries, but we all share one thing in common, and that is a love for horror. So click the link in the description section and join the group, and let's have some fun. Next, if you didn't know, I've designed some merch. I've combined my love for horror with my love for all things urban, and what you see is the finished product. So if you want to grab a piece of Project Dark Knight history, the link is down below. And remember, they are original to the channel and have been designed by myself, the Dark Knight. And who knows, when my channel blows up, these could become collector items. So grab them while you can. The link is down below. And lastly, I'd like to thank my lovely Patreons who have been a valuable member of Project Dark Knight. Some of the names on this list have been with me from the beginning. Those names are Dawson Lip, Turtle Chief 9, Laura Rhodey, George Lopez, Donna Sayers, D. Michael Smith, Trumpet, Anna, KJ Majid, Honey Badger, Charlie X24, Christy 77, Are You Voodoo, Jacob Wilk, Matt and Katie Murray, Archie Kiriakou, Gail Fogelson, David, Nachwolf, Angela Temke, Nick Gaspard, Dig Dug 74, Ashley Small, and Laurie Charles. Thank you everyone for your kind and generous support, and as a thank you, I will continue to share my content with you earlier than anywhere else. Also, over the coming months, I'll find new ways to interact with my Patreons even more. So until the next video, from the bottom of my heart to all my lovely loyal Patreons, and also you at home, my dear subscribers, thank you for supporting the channel, because it's thanks to amazing people like you that keep the engines running here at Project Dark Knight. And always remember, you've been watching Project Dark Knight Horror, and I am the Dark Knight, signing off. Peace!
Don't ever laugh as the hearse goes by, for you may be the next to die. They wrap you up in a big white sheet, from your head down to your feet. They put you in a big black box and cover you up with dirt and rocks.